Have you ever not attempted something you wanted to do because you were scared to fail? Or have you ever had doubts about whether you could be able to achieve something, and because of those doubts, you decided not to attempt it? If you have, I'm sorry to say this, but at that given point in time, you let your mind control you. Your mind made you feel uncomfortable. Your mind made you believe it wasn't possible, and you gave in. You let it win. And instead of attempting it, working hard, being resilient, and making it real, you were never able to see if it was truly possible. If this cycle has happened to you many times, I want to tell you something. Your biggest enemy is probably not who you think it is. Your biggest enemy is yourself, and the thoughts that your mind produces that tell you it's not possible, and the thoughts that want you to laze around and do nothing. But why me? How could I ever achieve that? Look, people smarter than you, but also people dumber than you, have achieved their dreams, done things that you may think, how on earth did he do that? I can't say for sure how they did it. Actually, no, I can say with 100% certainty that they had belief in themselves that they can do it. And that doesn't mean they didn't have doubt, that they weren't scared of failing, that their mind didn't tempt them, to just not attempt it. It doesn't mean any of those things. It just means despite those thoughts being there, they didn't give up and they kept going. And because of that, they were able to make it and achieve what they always wanted. Even through the bad times, they kept going, and because of that, they are where they are now today. Truth is, if you want to achieve something, it might take a while. The process of trying to achieve that thing is a journey you're gonna have to go through, and on that journey there's gonna be ups and downs that literally touch the floor, rock bottom. Because you see, the path to success is not a linear line. In fact, it looks more like this. Some people get there early, but some people get there late. So if you fear failing and you have doubts, unfortunately, I do not have any ways for you to stop thinking that way. Because the truth is, I also feel that way every day. And I know how much it truly sucks and how bad it feels. But I've realized you can't really control the way you feel. It is unfortunate, but you really can't. If you fear failing, it's because you fear failing. If you have doubt, it's because your mind doesn't think it's possible. But look, end of the day, these are just thoughts. Thoughts that your subconscious mind has produced. And they do not mean anything. They aren't real. It's just the voice in your head. And guess what? Everyone has that voice. The most successful athletes, musicians, businessmen, all of them, they have that voice. But they did not let that voice stop them. They heard that voice and they kept going. They pushed it to the side. They did not give that voice any significance whatsoever. Success is difficult. It's far from easy. If it was easy, there would be thousands of Ronaldos. But there's only one. To be someone that you can be proud of, it requires consistent effort, perseverance, hard work, and the ability to push through when it's hard, when it's difficult, when it feels impossible, when it feels like the world is about to crash to your feet. That's when it matters most to push through and keep going. And look, this is coming from someone who gets these thoughts every single day. Every day I get thoughts about, what if it doesn't work out? What if I'm wasting my time? What if I'm not doing enough? And I get it, it can be extremely exhausting. And for the longest amount of time, I was trying to find ways to get rid of these thoughts. Because what would happen is I would get the thought and I would get stuck in these thought loops where the thought would just be repeated hundreds and hundreds of times. And I would try to fight it, but it would just make it worse. And that internal feeling of anxiety and just the exhaustion from it would put me off so much. It made me want to quit, to be completely honest. But now I've come to the realization that you can't control these thoughts, and they are just intrusive thoughts produced by your subconscious mind, and you can't control what intrusive thoughts you get, and you can't control the feeling they cause you to feel. If a thought pops up that I'm gonna fail, and that causes me to feel anxiety and my heart starts to race, I cannot control any of that. But what I can do is not fight it, not wrestle with it, because in a one-on-one battle with it, you will lose if you try and get rid of it. But you can defeat it if you just let it be there and to keep going despite the thought being there. That is not an easy feat whatsoever. But do you think anyone wants to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, but some people need to do it to get it done, to get what they need to do and to achieve their dreams. You just gotta keep moving forward. I will continue to get thoughts that I'm gonna fail, that this is all a waste of time, that will never amount to anything. These thoughts are gonna continue to be there. I'm gonna get these thoughts thousands of times in the future. I can't escape that. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna allow these thoughts to let me become a nobody. These intangible objects. I'm not gonna let these intangible objects stop me. And I'm gonna keep fighting every single day.